Lu Fang quickly steps forward, supporting Wuxian, who winces and clutches her side, trying to suppress the pain. He looks at her with deep concern, asking if she's all right. In the background, Longxing, wearing a relaxed smile, leisurely fans himself. Lu Fang steadies Wuxian and questions why he was never told about her injury. Wuxian looks away awkwardly, admitting she had forgotten. Longxing reminds them that Huang Yutian's attack left internal injuries that can't heal within a month. He remarks that with Wuxian's frail condition, she stands no chance against the powerful Long and Huang families. He coolly advises Lu Fang to reconsider. But Lu Fang, wearing a fearless smirk, refuses without hesitation. His eyes lock onto Longxing, showing unwavering resolve. Lu Fang stands firmly, shielding Wuxian with a sharp, determined glare. He boldly declares that she won't agree. Wuxian, caught off guard, gasps softly, her eyes wide with surprise and a faint blush on her cheeks. Longxing's face darkens under the shadow of his fan, his golden eyes narrowing coldly. He mocks Lu Fang with a sneer, belittling the Ye family for relying on a young, inexperienced boy. He, respectfully, calls Lu Fang a great hero of the Dragon Nation. Wuxian grabs Lu Fang's arm. She pleads with him not to get involved, explaining that the brutal power struggles between the Western families are far beyond what ordinary people like him can comprehend. Lu Fang responds with a confident smile. He reminds Wuxian that after all the times she helped him, he could never abandon her now. Surrounded by a swirl of blue and red aura, sneers arrogantly. His eyes gleam dangerously as he mocks Lu Fang for winning only a few petty fights, warning that the title of hero is earned by exchanging one's life. Lu Fang, encased in blazing red energy, stands tall and fearless. A confident smirk curves his lips as he meets Longxing's overwhelming presence head-on. His voice is steady as he declares that dealing with Longxing alone is already more than enough. Hearing a shout from behind, Lu Fang glances sideways. One of Lu Fang's teammates steps forward, hefting his weapon confidently. Grinning, he tells Lu Fang to rest while he handles the fight. Behind him, two more teammates, including a girl wielding dual swords and another channeling fiery magic, stand ready to join the fray. Lu Fang, surrounded by swirling red energy, smiles coldly. He declares there's no need to argue further. The coming battle is a grand gift he's sending to the Western families. Longxing's face twists with anger as his hair whips wildly in the storm of energy surrounding him. Hidden behind his fan, his piercing eyes glare forward as he growls, "Ridiculous," floats gracefully in midair, fanning himself with arrogance. Above him, countless glowing swords materialize, aimed at Lu Fang. With a mocking smirk, he taunts them, calling them clowns daring to challenge his might. Wuxian steps forward, shouts at Longxing, accusing him of trying to break the agreement they had. Longxing, hidden behind his fluttering fan, narrows his sharp eyes, his face bathed in a deep blue glow. Dark energy swirls around him as he vows he'll settle things within a month. With a deafening roar, his dragon girl charges through the air, clashing against the barrage of magical swords summoned by Longxing. The girl crashes through a wall with explosive force, debris scattering everywhere. Lu Fang steps forward with the girl landing behind him. He shouts toward the enemy, complaining humorously that Villa Number 1 isn't even repaired yet, and he won't allow damage to Villa Number 2 either. Longxing wipes blood from his mouth, glaring fiercely at Lu Fang. The walls behind him are cracked from the shockwaves of battle, and smoke coils around him as he shouts Lu Fang's name. Lowering his head slightly, he conjures swirling blue energy between his hands. He admits he originally intended to teach Lu Fang just a small lesson, but things have changed. Now completely enveloped in crackling blue energy, Longxing floats with swords of light spinning madly around him. He declares with a cold grin that he has changed his mind. Lu Fang, standing in a ring of roaring red flames, smirks confidently. The girl hovers above him, wings flaring wide. Matching Longxing's challenge, Lu Fang casually says that he too has changed his mind. The dragon, now transformed into World Destroyer form, lets out an earth-shaking roar. Its massive body glows with fiery red and black energy, and stats surge, revealing terrifying new strength, agility, spirit, and endurance. Longxing braces himself within a glowing formation of summoned swords. He marvels at the dragon's overwhelming might, but smirks coldly, vowing that today he will become a dragon slayer and elevate the Long family's prestige. Lu Fang extends his hand forward, commanding with a fierce shout for Xiaoye to apply pressure. A brilliant red aura bursts from his palm, enhancing both himself and his dragon. The system announces the Dragon's Inspiration effect, boosting all attributes and attack power by 30%. Xiaoye roars once again, even more ferociously than before. Now fully powered up, his strength, agility, spirit, and endurance stats flash dramatically across the screen. The dragon's pressure ability activates, sending shockwaves through the battlefield. Red energy beams rain down, pinning Longxing where he stands. He grits his teeth, cold sweat trickling down his forehead. Despite trying to resist, his body trembles uncontrollably under the crushing pressure. His mind races as he realizes this is the true, terrifying power of a dragon. Determined not to show weakness, Longxing lifts his head with fierce resolve. He declares that any ordinary opponent would have already begged for mercy, but he, a proud member of the Long family, will never kneel. Summoning his remaining strength, Longxing lunges forward, unleashing his ultimate technique. Dragon breaks the sky. Countless glowing swords shoot upward as he aims to shatter the very heavens, while Lu Fang watches calmly, standing tall amidst the violent storm of energy. Xiaoye, in dragon form, fiercely lashes out against the onslaught of glowing swords. His thick scales and fiery aura deflect the attacks effortlessly. Longxing's face twists in disbelief. He watches in shock as his powerful sword techniques fail to even scratch Xiaoye's defenses. Sweat pours down his face as he realizes the massive gap between their strengths. Standing confidently behind his dragon, Lu Fang stares coldly at Longxing. He declares that Longxing should witness for himself. This is the true difference created by absolute power. With another furious roar, Xiaoye leaps into the air and slams down with devastating force. The ground cracks and shatters beneath him, dust and debris flying everywhere. He clutches his head in agony, roaring helplessly as intense pressure and pain crash down on him. His long hair whips around violently, caught in the furious storm created by Xiaoye's overwhelming power. Xiaoye, radiating unstoppable force, soars downward at incredible speed. The ground beneath trembles as Longxing tries to brace himself. Longxing tries to resist, but is ruthlessly slammed into the ground by Xiaoye's massive claw. Dust and debris erupt from the impact, drowning his last words of defiance in the noise of destruction. Amidst the thick cloud of smoke and rubble, Lu Fang steps forward calmly. His shadow looms over the defeated Longxing as he warns him coldly to stay quiet, suggesting that Xiaoye's temper is far worse than his own. Longxing, pinned and stunned, can only stare up in silence. Lu Fang stands tall as Xiaoye pins Longxing to the ground. With cold eyes, he reminds Longxing that dealing with him alone was already more than enough. Longxing, battered and humiliated, grits his teeth and shouts that the Long family will not forgive him. Longxing's eyes widen in panic as Lu Fang steps closer, lifting a red-bladed weapon. A fresh wave of fear flashes across Longxing's bruised face. Lu Fang tells Longxing that he's sparing his life, not out of fear of the Long family, but to deliver a message. He commands him to tell both the Huang and Long families that 1 month later, he and his senior sister will personally come to settle accounts with them. Longxing, blood dripping from his lips, looks up in fear and defeat. Lu Fang, having finished speaking, casually instructs Xiaoye to see him off. Xiaoye, now in her massive black dragon form, grabs Longxing fiercely. With a sharp swing, she hurls him into the sky. He throws Longxing down with overwhelming force. The air shakes as Longxing plummets like a falling star, crashing violently into the ground. Lu Fang stands casually beside the dragon, fist-bumping Xiaoye. Both wear relaxed yet proud smiles. Lu Fang confidently states that now they share the same fate. Suddenly, Wuxian stumbles into Lu Fang's arms. Caught off guard, Lu Fang blushes with wide eyes. Wuxian throws herself into Lu Fang's arms. Her silver hair cascades over his shoulder, while Lu Fang stiffens in surprise. Tears of gratitude glisten at the corners of Wuxian's closed eyes as she leans against Lu Fang, her face flushed with deep emotion. She thanks him,